Antibiotics. In the lower classes, especially in the 8th standard, when we were learning about good and bad microorganisms, we have learnt about antibiotics. We know that most of the diseases, that is the contagious or the infectious diseases, are spread by microorganism. Now, microorganisms, when they are causing the disease, that means we call them the harmful microorganism. In similarly, there are certain microorganisms which help us in killing the pathogens or reducing the effect of the pathogens. They are called as good microorganisms, and these microorganisms are utilized to create medicines. These medicines are called as antibiotics. Antibiotics are the medicines which can be taken as a prevention also, it can be taken as a curing also. And antibiotics, we have learned, can be broad spectrum, that it can kill a number of disease causing microorganism. At the same time, it can also be a narrow spectrum, that means specific for a particular. Like for example, we have certain medicines which may, we may take when we have headache also, we have stomach ache also, we are having fever also, body pain also. They are called as broad spectrum. But there are certain medicines which are very specific. Say only when you are having toothache, that is the time you can take that particular. Or maybe certain medicines which is only for, say, TB or something like that. So they are narrow spectrum. So these are called as antibiotics, and antibiotics is a huge, you can say, huge advancement in terms of curing people from diseases. So many diseases of human and other animals have been controlled due to antibiotic obtained from different types of bacteria as well as fungi. Antibiotics like penicillin and bacteriocin, erythromycin, n number of things that we have been learned, tetracycline, streptomycin, etc., can be used against various strains of gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. Rifamycin is effective against tuberculosis also. But there is a important thing that we need to understand is antibiotic consumption should only be done under the supervision of a doctor. We should not just start taking any antibiotic without asking the doctor. Secondly, we should also complete the course of the antibiotic that is suggested by the doctor. As well as whenever we are taking antibiotic, we should always supplement with taking vitamins and nutritious food and healthy food. Microorganism and fuel, or microbes and fuel. The fuel, we know that we have learnt again in the previous classes that most of the fuels that we use nowadays are fossil fuel. That means that we learned in the green energy chapter also that how fossil fuel utilization is not good for the environment, how the resources are getting over. So we are looking at various green source of energy, renewable source of energy, and we saw about wind energy, and then we saw about tidal energy and solar energy, etc. Similarly, biofuel is a very important green source of energy which is considered to be the energy source of the future. The simple reason being that they are non-polluting and they're good for the environment. So some examples are gaseous fuel like methane can be obtained by microbial anaerobic decomposition of agricultural and industrial waste. Imagine the kind of waste that we generate, whether it's from the industry or from domestic or from the things, whatever it is. Now, if we are able to produce the methane gas from it properly under controlled environment and utilize that as a gas or as a fuel, it will be a huge source of energy. Ethanol, which is an alcohol, and it is a clean, that is smokeless, does not cause pollution. Fuel obtained from fermentation of molasses by the yeast Saccharomyces. Molasses, what is actually molasses? We've been reading about it a lot. Molasses is actually, after you extract sugarcane juice from the sugarcane, the things that remain back, that is that wastage that remains back, is called as molasses. And if they are not left for rotting and if they are processed properly and they are fermented with the help of microorganisms, etc., we are able to produce ethanol, which is again a good source of fuel. Similarly, hydrogen gas, it is also considered to be the fuel of the future. Hydrogen is released during the biophotolysis of water, in which bacteria performs a photoreduction. So here also we can utilize large amount of hydrogen gas. So similar to fuels, there are very many other industrial chemicals are also being used using microbial process, like different types of alcohols. Now you have to understand, alcohol is not only for consumption of alcohol or wine or anything. Alcohol is also used in the industries a lot. Methanol, ethanol, there are also different types of alcohol that we are utilizing in the industry as well as also in medicines. Acetone, then organic acids, fatty acids, polysaccharides, etc., which are used as a raw material in chemical industry. They can also be created with the help of microorganisms. Some of these are useful as raw materials for plastic and food products. Here they've shown you a certain simple example of how biofuel can be produced. That is that when you're taking cellulose from the sugar, then how you can utilize that. See, they're showing you over there that you have a sugar factory and you're utilizing the molasses from there and then creating biofuel out of it. So what is biofuel? Biofuel is an important among the renewable source of good energy or green energy. They are available in solid form, that is coal dung, crop residue, etc., liquid from vegetable oil and alcohol, and gaseous as gobar gas, that is biogas, coal gas, etc. These fuels are easily available and in plenty in quantity. These are reliable fuels for the future. That means if you're actually utilizing and creating this kind of fuel by utilizing the resources or the waste that we have, then we will be able to create enough fuel so that we do not face any kind of energy crisis. We'll be seeing in the next topic how we talk about the management or the waste management using microorganisms. Thank you.